We begin here in Lagos, where Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has signed the 2.267 trillion naira 2024 appropriation bill of Lagos State into law, ushering in a new expenditure cycle. The governor, at the ceremony held in the State House in Alausa, assented to the budget of Renewal days after the House of Assembly passed the proposed expenditure bill and transmitted it to the executive arm for approval. The state government is prioritizing spending on infrastructure, environment, education and technology, just as it significantly raised allocation to security and public safety. The breakdown of the total budget shows that 1.3 trillion naira, representing 58%, is allocated for capital expenditure, while the recurrent spending got 952.4 billion naira, which represents 42% of the budget. After signing the appropriation bill into law, Governor Sanwo-Olu assured that the implementation of the budget would bring about new growth and improve quality of life for state residents. Meanwhile, the National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's headline inflation rate rose to 28.92% in December 2023. The Bureau disclosed this in its Consumer Price Index inflation report for December, which was released earlier today. According to the report, the figure is 0.72 percentage points higher compared to 28.20% recorded in November 2023. We had the Professor of Capital Market and President of the Association of Capital Markets Academics of Nigeria, Professor Uche Owaleke, who spoke to us on these figures on our Business Nigeria program. Take a listen.
Implications for the man on the street, when we say 28.92% inflation rates, MBS says that is year on year. Year on year means compared to December of 2022, whether it is food, the price of the food has increased by as much as 28%. Of course, 28.92% is the average inflation rate. Remember, the MBS says whatever they are doing is based on a basket of goods, about 740, items in that basket of commodities. So if inflation has gone up by 28%, it means that compared to December of 2022, that the price of, let me take an example, let's say a tuber of yam, all right? Remember I said 28.9 is the average, but I just want to give an example. The food component is even as high as 3%. Okay, a tuber of yam, if it cost 100 naira in 2022, by December 2023, that same tuber of yam is now costing, 133 naira. If inflation rate for food is 33%.
More news. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, says the federal government will increase the nation's revenue and double the economy without raising taxes. The minister said that government under President Bola Tinubu is keen on its foreign investment drive to make the country's investors' destination, which has already started yielding positive results. Sunday, Binibo Fahad in this report as presented from our studio.
Please sit down.
The arrival of the minister set the ball rolling for the day's engagement with journalists on key issues contained in the 2024 budget.
I want to hear from you, particularly questions that you wish you can ask.
According to the minister, increasing revenue for the government is a priority as they seek to drive more investment from the private sector, which he believes will help reactivate the economy.
This is where we all owe our nation a duty to draw attention to the fact that there is a lot that private sector can do. There's a lot of money out there. The role of public officers is even to lead so that that private capital can come. And President has been doing so, leading himself. All areas are open for private capital to flow, and the President is leading the mobilization himself.
On the foreign exchange market, the minister explained that the FX rate benchmark of 800 naira to the dollar was strategic, even though the government had earlier projected an exchange rate of 750 naira to the dollar. He said the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, will improve the economy increase internally generated revenue without raising tax rate.
We chose democracy, and democracy has opportunity cost. We have seen budget shutdowns in advanced democracies, particularly the US, because power is split and given to different institutions. But the wisdom of the National Assembly was that the spot exchange rate was much higher than the proposal we submitted, and they felt it should go up by the amount, as well as even our revenue expectation from government-owned enterprises. They feel it can go higher. And one of the things we must thank God for is we have in the bill a very committed Democrat who, yes, despite his own opinion, he knows that in democracy you have to respect institutions.
The minister assured Nigerians that his ministry will ensure efficient implementation of the 2024 budget as directed by the president.
And the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria wants practitioners to adjust to the changing dynamics in the global tax system. According to the leadership of the CITN, the global tax system is ever-changing and evolving. This makes it important for countries to adjust to meet up with required expectations. The president of the institute re-echoed this position at the opening of an in-house training on change management put together for tax professionals in Lagos. For the team from Gambia, they are optimistic that the collaboration and knowledge sharing at this event will impact the global tax environment positively.
Taxation itself is dynamic. It is not static. It is not just principle. It is what the law says. And the law follows the economy, the social economic activities of a country. What was applicable some years ago is different from what is applicable today. So change management is key. You need to know the dynamics. You need to know that the world has become a global village, global economy. Activities carried out in Canada as it affects Gambia, as it affects Nigeria. We need to look at this, and that is why this suggestion came from them.
We are here to do a training on change management because we are implementing reforms in our tax administration, and we felt it is necessary to come and learn from our big brothers, like our Commissioner General normally calls Nigeria, so that we can take the experience back home so that our reform agenda will be successful.
And wrapping up business, the stock market begins the week strong, still giving securities sellers the opportunity to make gains on investments. Markets editor Effiong Hekop has a report, and we'll be back with football tonight. Stay with us.
A strong wave of bidding has seen many market players selling securities for good cash. The bullish run has stayed for a reasonable period, kicking stock prices in the positive direction. It was Cadbury that took more than 2% price increase on the back of support by investors. Access Holding, Charms, Elalex and Cornerstone Insurance all traded in the higher territories. Market index swelled by a large margin of nearly 2%. The push in stock prices has kicked the total value of traded securities in the markets above 45 trillion naira. Losers with levels of downward trades included Beja Paint, Custodian Insurance, Champion Breweries, African Prudential Insurance and First Bank Holding. Market analysts predict further jumps in the prices of securities in the coming weeks. Effiong Hekop, TVC News, Lagos.